In today's brief video, I want to take a moment and share with you guys how I managed nicotine cravings when I was quitting chewing tobacco products and quitting vaping. What I can promise you I did not do was use Nicorette gum or use nicotine replacement therapy. Because as we like to say, you don't need nicotine to quit nicotine. In today's video, I'm going to cover 4 different types of nicotine cravings that you might experience and a shift in mindset for each of those scenarios that should help you quit. If you wind up enjoying the content in today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description to download a free workbook on how to quit vaping or how to quit using nicotine today. Or you can learn more about our one-on-one paid addiction mindset recovery coaching programs. The first type of cravings you're probably going to experience when you quit vaping or quit using nicotine is the cravings that are associated with the withdrawal symptoms. And the shift in mindset that I would like to provide you with is one of embracing the withdrawal symptoms. Withdrawal is nothing more than your body's way of showing you that you are killing this addiction and that your body is actually on its way to detoxing and healing. Withdrawal is addiction's way, it's those nicotine receptors' way of letting us know that they're dying and they're suffering. It's addiction's last ditch effort to try and suck you back in. So every time you feel one of those withdrawal symptoms from nicotine and you get a craving to consume more nicotine, remind yourself, I'm winning, addiction is dying. I'm growing, addiction is shrinking. This shift in mindset should be a huge help somewhere in the first 3 to 14 days of quitting. The next series of cravings that you're probably going to find yourself dealing with is the idea of something's missing. So, this is when you leave your house for work in the morning, you get in the car, and you go to reach for your vape and you realize it's not there. It's the idea of something's missing. It can almost feel like you're missing a limb or like you walked out of your house without your cell phone, or even worse, because that drug, that substance, nicotine, was in fact an extension of your hand or your lip if you chew tobacco or whatever it may be for however many years of your life you've been addicted. When you find yourself questioning this, something's missing, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that has been missing due to addiction? And let me rephrase this. For me, I was missing my physical health. I was missing the $20, $30 a week I was spending on nicotine products, actually significantly more than that. My bank account was missing those funds. I was missing better mental health. I was missing my energy levels. I was missing my motivation. I was missing a good quality night's sleep. These are all things that I wanted to improve upon when I quit vaping, when I quit using tobacco and nicotine products. So when you find yourself saying something's missing, yes, something is missing because addiction has robbed something from you. And this is a perfect opportunity to take a moment and ask yourself, what actions, what steps can you take to go reclaim that something that's missing that addiction robbed of you? So if it's your physical health, maybe that's something missing is a gym membership. If it's your mental health, maybe that's something missing is a therapy session or two to get you back on track. If it's your diet, if it's your sleep, if it's et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you get the point. What is missing in your life? Go pursue the things that you actually crave, the things in life that you actually care about. Reclaim what addiction has taken from you. The next craving that most people will experience is associated with celebration or reward. This is the idea that I've gone through a hard day's work and I deserve to reward myself with nicotine. Now, if you're anything like me, you consume nicotine from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. And I think the idea of associating nicotine with your reward pathways is extremely dangerous. What wound up happening was I was rewarding myself 24/7. I was rewarding myself for simply getting out of bed in the morning. Just my very existence was being treated as a reward. And this is an extremely dangerous behavior. I've come to learn that rewards should be saved for truly great moments, a big business accomplishment, a big relationship accomplishment. Rewards are fine, but they should be reserved for activities or events or scenarios that truly call for a reward. Checking my email and just getting through a day's work as a 30-year-old male is just what ought to be done. It's not something that necessarily deserves to be reinforced all day long with a reward, especially from a substance. On a side note, I grew up as part of a millennial generation, so I'm 34 years old. And in my generation, and I think a lot of millennials can relate to this, we were constantly rewarded for a lot of different things in our lives. At least you might relate to this, maybe not. And I think this becomes very dangerous because then we're constantly looking to reward our behaviors all day long. And I think this actually probably plays a huge role in some of the substance use addiction that we're seeing, or that we at least know that many adults in their 30s and 40s in that millennial time gap are currently struggling with. And I also want you to ask yourself, what is the reward in addiction? Addiction, if I can quote Dr. Andrew Huberman, is the progressive narrowing of things in life that bring us joy. If there's no joy in addiction, how can there be a reward in it? Our mind has been manipulated, it's been tricked. The other craving that's kind of associated with reward, so we're going to include these two together, is the craving for a break, the craving for a mental release. I just need that break in between clients. I just need that break in between my hours of work. And this is where you're consuming nicotine. Nicotine is not a break. It's just an added layer of stress that you now have to fit into your day from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. The kids are still running around. The work still needs to be done. Someone still needs to answer the phone, answer the text, and get to the emails. You have now simply complicated that by making it so your body and your brain are dependent upon nicotine to accomplish those very basic tasks. At least that's how I was. This is not a break. This is an added layer of stress. Now I can't answer my email until I have a dip or until I hit my vape because those cravings are kicking in every 30 minutes. My body's going into withdrawal every 30 minutes throughout the day as I use nicotine. And this is not a break. This is an added layer of stress in your life. The last scenario where you may realize that you're experiencing cravings is in social settings. So this could apply to someone who's at school, all of their friends vape. This could apply to someone out socially if you're out having drinks with friends. Someone pulls out a tobacco product, cigarette, chewing tobacco, nicotine pouches, vapes, whatever it may be. There's a lot of people right now socially who indulge in nicotine products. And if you're quitting, I think you have an opportunity, and I'm going to say something kind of cliche, but you have a chance to be a lion among sheep. And I hate to say it that way, but that's just the truth. Do you want to spend the rest of your life as a consumer, or do you want to start to shift into the mentality of a producer? Are you going to go through life being influenced, or are you going to go through life being the person who influences? And call me corny, call me what you want, but I think quitting nicotine, and this could apply to any drug, quitting drinking, just saying no to something that a lot of other people are doing, is a very, very good opportunity for you to stand out and for you to start to produce and influence versus just fall under the guise of general consumption that everyone else is constantly under. Addiction trains us to consume. Sobriety and recovery from drugs trains us to produce. Do you want to be a consumer or a producer for the rest of your life? Secondly, in these social situations, look at the people around you and ask yourself truly, do I aspire to be like this person? Mentally, physically, spiritually, relationship wise? Is this an individual or group of individuals that I look up to? And if so, why? Why do I look up to them? What I eventually found was that a lot of people who were vaping, smoking, drinking heavily, smoking weed, whatever, I didn't care to aspire to be like those people. And don't get me wrong, I've met very successful people who consume alcohol, consume nicotine. There is no question about that. But I'm not just talking monetary success. Success is defined in many different ways and it goes beyond just finances, although that's an important one. If you enjoyed today's video, consider booking a one-on-one coaching call. You can find information about that in the pinned comment or check out the video description for more resources on quitting vaping. I'll see you guys in one of those spots.